also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man. Riding in the city, yes, he also smoked the ink, man.
All right, we back at it again, y'all. So, on a lighter note, I got a story about this was in, and it's crazy because like even when I started the store, with my homies and stuff, damn, I missed them times, man. It's crazy because it was not everything was good, man. But it wasn't tons and tons of bad things. You know what I'm saying? That's what I felt. So, I don't think I need two lights. Hold on. I don't need. Sweating a little bit. I don't need two lights. So, man, this got me looking younger. He dropped a few pounds. All right, so this had to been winter '09. I'm thinking it had to been winter '09. I actually got another story of when I was opening the shop. I'm wondering if I should do a Patreon because I'm trying to say something without saying something, but yeah, I don't think I'm that damn interesting. But this story is it had to have been later '09. I'm trying to put it all together, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to put it all together because it was a crash. It was always something happening in my cars or something going on around that time, and I always kind of start to feel like I need two at the time, and I was like 2-car DP at one point. So like that little couple year between '08, '09, 2010, really, I always had two whips. I had two whips because I had this innate fear that I wasn't going to be able to get to work. So I always felt like I'm going to have a time machine and then have something a little more modern, or so I always want to have two. I always want to have two whips. I don't really know what I was thinking. I think because because money wasn't really an issue if you were making money all the time. Food, things just didn't cost as much. And it's crazy because it wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't that long ago, y'all. I gotta send this to Ye so he can remember. You know what I'm saying? It's not just memory lane. It's just like, man, it was lovely. Man, I'm telling y'all, things felt lovely, and they weren't lovely. They weren't, but it felt lovely. It felt like we was having our way. We were doing what we wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Young black men in Minnesota, we did what we wanted to do, bro. We really did. We whatever we wanted to do. We weren't bothering nobody or doing nothing to nobody. We just, we living. Is what I'm saying. Now, we weren't surviving. We was living. So, so it had to been around, I think, later 2009. So just to kind of give y'all a little backstory, I had gotten them car accidents. Remember, I got into a car accident in 2008. around August. So then I got that settlement like a year later. When I was getting ready to open up the shop, literally opening up the shop, I was putting in, we just started to open the shop. We didn't really have no customers. It was like the first week or two. This lady in Richfield hit my car. So now my Delta 88, but my 86, my 87, 86 or 85, my 85 two-door, the Sabre, that got crashed up. So me wanting to drop the 350 in there and all that. So that had to been, that might have been maybe March of 09 when we opened up, or it might have been April. It might have been May. You see what I'm saying? Because Big Rob was like, yeah, man, this car is a piece of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like rickety. You know, and the upholstery needed to be done. I thought I was doing something. They're like, man, you need to fix this shit, BP, and get you a new car. So that's my homies. They joking on me. They rolling me in the. I mean, they rolled. They rolled for about like a half hour. It was funny. I was a little salty. I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I was fake salty. I was low key salty at that time because I just thought I was doing it. So they had to bring my ego down a little bit. Like, man, this car's upholstery, but everything else was like a damn near in perfect condition. It was in incredible condition. So, like I said, that car got messed up. I didn't feel like it wasn't really drivable because like the bumper was. I should have kept it. I should have kept it and found a Mexican or something to pound them, you know. But anyway, so I think that's when I bought a car from my homie just to get me around. And then I got rid of that and I got something else and, you know, whatever. I think at one point I got one settlement around early 09 and I went and I bought this. This is what I bought. I bought this right here. I bought a 92. It was a blue 92, or not 92, like a 95 or whatever, but it was called a Delta 88. It was old, beautiful cars, real nice cars. The thing about the subframe, remember I told y'all, the subframe be rusty at the bottom. I didn't really check it, but everything else in the car was amazing. So I'm going to the chiropractor for this other settlement from the second car that I got hit in 09. So this probably might have been August, June, July, August or something of 09. And I'm buying, I'm on the way going to, ironically, the chiropractor. And I'm going to, what's this place called? New Brighton. Now, we go out here and look at New Brighton. New Brighton, it was St. Anthony. It was somewhere around here. What happens when you get into a car accident, and y'all notice ever been in a car accident? When you get into a car accident, and of course you got insurance, so I'm talking from the standpoint of folks that ain't riding dirty, which most of us ain't. They have the place you're suing or you're trying to collect the insurance money from. They have an independent, they call it independent, but it's basically a doctor they have you go see. They have you go see one of their doctors so they can avoid paying you. That's the idea. They want to avoid paying you. So they'll send you to a doctor where they'll tell you to take left, right, up, down, and then they write, oh, he's okay. That's why whenever you get into a car accident, go to a medical doctor. Go to an actual hospital and report, because they're gonna ask when the lawyers start coming out and they do the little mediation, whatever. Why didn't you go to the doctor? They're gonna ask that. That's gonna be one of the questions you got. So what they had me go here to St. Anthony, Maine, right? So I go to St. Anthony, Maine, or somewhere around New Brighton, or St. Anthony, somewhere around here. So I'm driving and I'm getting off somewhere around here, or I'm getting off around here, and I feel something fall. Like boom. And I'm like, what's that? And I start turning the wheel, and the wheel don't turn. I had no idea what was going on. I was just getting off the exit. and there was like a bank right there. Y'all probably know where that is, but there's like a bank right there. And I was literally just a couple miles away from going to the doctor. Man, it must have been a grace of God. I was doing like 50 coming off the exit, and the brakes wasn't working. I mean, I didn't know what to do. When you turn the steering wheel, it just kept turning and turning and turning and turning and turning. But I guess the brakes still worked. I don't know how I stopped. I must have used an emergency brake. But I get off on the exit, and I end up, it was like Bell Bank or something like that. Not Bell Bank. I don't know what bank it was. I don't know what bank it was, man. It's not off 36. I don't know where the hell this was at. Let me see. New Brighton Boulevard. This is Huntington Bank. So this was, let me see. Let me get see. I just want to see, man. Was it New Brighton Boulevard? Let's get see, y'all. No, I wasn't over here. But it was close. It was close. It was close. Let me try to go back so I can get to 35th minute. Haha. Alright, so anyway, it was close. So I go down to New Brighton, or the guy I bought that car from. When I pull off the highway, my point. When I pull off the highway, I don't know how I got off the highway. I know y'all like, damn, this is a long story. Get to the point. Okay, all right. I pull off the highway, or the steering wheel's not working. I don't know. I just got to go forward. So I'm going in the ongoing traffic, and all the people looking, they honking like, man, what the hell is he doing? And I end up right on the lawn of the bank. And I just park or something like that. So people are driving past and they looking like, is he on drugs? Like, what is he doing? Like, why is he on the lawn of the bank? And a couple people, it was funny now. A couple people, they're kind of driving down the street and they looking, they laughing like, man, this nigga crazy. But the subframe, literally the thing that's holding up the motor, just you know what I'm saying? It gets failed. The whole motor gets failed. You see what I'm saying? So that's what was going on. I get out the car. The bank lady, you know, like the little bankers where they have people sit at their office or whatever like that. She's just looking like, and I just come out and shrug my shoulders like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody don't call the police. I don't even think the police came. I get out the car. I immediately call the dude that sold me the car. It's some Craigslist stuff. I tell him what happened. I got send this Stack Dope. When I edit this, I'm sending this directly to Stack Dope because he gonna know exactly who, you know, what happened with this. So I called the dude to tell him. Now this is as is. This Craigslist, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no warranties, it ain't no lemon law. You know, I paid the dude like $2,500 or $2,000 or so. I don't know. Beautiful car, but you never think about that. So I called the guy. Hey, man, the whole subframe fell out. And he had to know, you know what I'm saying? So I said, man, the motor failed or something like that. And I just told him what happened. I didn't know how to explain it. I was like, man, the whole motor just failed. And he said, oh, you know, and I'm gonna call you back and all this. And he tried to 50 fake me. He tried to play me. So I called my homie. I'm like, bro, I told Stack Dope, I said, man, I'm over here like right off. I told him what happened. He's like, what? How did that happen? he instantly bugged up. He like, oh, hell no, bro. You can call him back. So I told him, I said, man, I called him back. Dude trying to act like he said, man, hold on, bro. Give me his number. So he calls. Stack Dope calls the dude like, hey, I'm Donald or something. He act like he was my lawyer or something. That nigga, he really sound like a lawyer. Like when he put his white voice on, fam, would do that real good. He put on the lawyer like, hey, you know, my client, Mr. Pearson, you know, said you stole my vehicle. I don't even think he said car. He said you stole my vehicle. So he really thought, so dude called me back immediately. He called me back. Dude called me back immediately as soon as Stack Dope got on the phone and put that Donald. He said, yeah, this is Donald Harris, or, you know, he said something. Dude called me back so fast. He literally called me back. I told him, he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna send you know, because he thought he was gonna get sued. I don't know. So this redneck, he calls me back. This is what he does with me. He calls a tow, or he told me just leave the car, and somehow he said, well, yeah, my cousin or something like that, his little redneck conservative cousins must have had like an old beat up LeSabre. It was like a 95 LeSabre, the one I told you with the little thick Northside chick that bought it for me. This thing was. When I got back to the shop with this car, man, my homie got on me. I was so embarrassed. I was low key mad at my homies, man. I was low key kind of salty. Like, I didn't want to admit it. I was kind of salty at my homies for a little while because the way that they roasted me on that car, and they had to. I mean, it looked like it went through World War II. It was getting rusty as hell, but it ran. It was a 95 LeSabre, and it was the rustiest. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's 94. It was a 94 Buick LeSabre. It was a 94 Buick LeSabre. We gonna get to the story. This is a long story. 94 Buick LeSabre, rusty. Let me see if I get the rust. I'm talking about a horrible looking one. Nah, this ain't, it ain't that bad. But I'm trying to find like a 92. This right here. This was it. Telling you. Man, this how I look, bro. This look. I'm about to take my face off. I'm gonna take my face off. This how I look. This how I look, y'all. It looked something like this, but it was blue. It had all the little, because they start doing that after a while. They had all the little stuff, but it had even more rust. It was rusty, all like this. It looked like that, but it ran. Oh, it ran. I had no problems, but I had to do no work. I think I did an oil change, and that was it. They got on me at the shop every day. They got on me so bad. And then you got my homie. He got all these Chicago niggas. Oh, Chicago gonna get on you. DP, man, Joe, I ain't never seen you ride like that, DP. Oh, Chicago's vicious. Chicago brothers is vicious when they start roasting. Oh, they got on me so bad. It was terrible. The rust. They said you ain't gonna get no ladies. Like, I mean, it was bad. It for real. It was to the point where I couldn't holler. I couldn't holler. Ain't nobody getting up in that. I don't even think I went on no. For real, I don't even think I picked nobody up on that. I don't even think I picked nobody up on it. It was that bad. But the AC was freezing, which you wouldn't even think. I mean, the AC was like you would literally have to roll the window down. I'd be like, man, you freezing. Because somebody got in the car one day, like, damn, DP, turn it down a little bit. I said, it is. They said, this is low. They said, damn, it's like that. It was freezing cold, as if somebody just like Mr. Freeze just shooting the Batman or something like that. Like, it was freezing cold. So, I had to I rode around with that for a little bit. And then my settlement came. I think I got like another settlement or something like that. And I think around that time, I decided to put some money in the shop, and put some money in the shop. And see, that was another important thing with the settlements. I was getting settlements, I got a settlement from the second crash, and I bought some shoes. And this Somali dude had a two-door Tahoe, which I should have bought. My homie's like, man, DP, grab that. I'm like, man, I'm trying to make all these excuses. I should have grabbed it. I would have had that to this day. The Somali dude was gonna sell it to me. He wanted 45. I'm trying to give him 42. He held out. He would not move because it's a two-door Tahoe and it was clean. It might have had some issues, whatever, but I think he was hurting. He picked me up in it, let me drive it. And I said, man, you know what I'm saying? But that would have been all my bread. I should have did it. Because I could have sold that for $6,000. I could probably sold it 10 right now. But I didn't do it. I ended up going and getting this right here. me pull this up, because we got to get into oh damn, I done messed up. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up now. There it goes right there. It looked just like this. Come on, they always messing with you with these. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh, that looked good. It looked just like this. It looked exactly like this. Exactly. And you know where I bought this? Let me tell you where I got it. I went to Bloomington. I went to Bloomington and got this. Okay, so now we really get into the story. So this had to probably have been, when I bought this, it might have been when I bought it, it was later 09. So that's my second Oldsmobile within a period of a couple months. Because remember, the first one conked out. I rode around the Buick for my 2-3 months or whatever like that. Got roasted every day. Oh, they gave it to me. They gave it to me bad. But you know, it worked. Drove around in that for a little while. Put it on Craigslist right when I got this car. Now I thought about just keeping it as just a sidecar for if something happens, which I probably should have did. So I threw it on Craigslist. I wanted like $400-500 or whatever like that. This little bad Northside chick called me. Hella ratchet. It's so ratchet. Bad though. A little too ratchet for me. She wanted to buy it. She come over with this little, oh, you cute and all, can I have it cheaper and all that? Take it, man. Can I call you later? She bought it for like $400. I think I wanted $600 or whatever. She came, she had like $500, came straight to the shop. Just take it, take the title. I said, change the title out my name. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call you later, whatever like that. And I'm like, oh. So I got my Delta 88. I got my Royal. And it's the Royal. This got leather seats, all kind of stuff. So now we really get to the story. So I'm still meeting. I think some girl comes into the shop. Some chick from, I think she's from Illinois or somewhere. I don't know. She comes to the shop. She's super choosing. I wasn't really feeling. I was like, you know. So she's buying stuff. I got a card, like a personal card, because it wasn't that I was in the shop trying to hustle, take my number where I'm hustling outside. It's just that I still did some of my computer repair outside of the shop, but I try to keep it as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? But I was still trying to make some money because a lot of that goes directly to the shop. You got to pay rent. So after hours, somebody might want their computer fixed. I will fix that in the shop. And there was a discrepancy at one point. My homies was like, bring all the PC repair to the shop, which that makes sense. But at the time, you know, it's up and down for me. I didn't really want to sell a whole lot of mixtapes and stuff outside of the shop. That's for the shop. I want that traffic to come there. But I still had my outside customers that I brought that came from me just hustling in the street. So I'd want to send them to the shop. But sometimes people would just call me and be like, hey, let me bring the computer over to the crib. And I did that so I could have me some money. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, walk-ins, people dropping their computer off, I fix it. So she got her computer fixed or something like that. She must have took one of my personal cards or something like that or whatever and called me one night. Hey, me and my homegirl want some mixtapes or some movie. I can't remember what it was. Movies and mixtapes. I don't know what it was. So around this time, I'm still trying to get my diabetes together. So I'm always going to, you know, on that McDonald's on 44th and Hiawatha, or 45th, 46th and Hiawatha over South. That was like a mecca to me. I go and get a grilled chicken salad. I get 2 of those every day, and I'd be losing weight, and I feel good. So they met me in that parking lot. And it was kind of cold. So this had to have been later 09 or whatever. All right, so now you know what music we gonna be playing for this one. Okay, so look. So what ends up happening with that situation is later on they called me up, and I think they called me up and they said, I think it was my birthday or something like that. I don't know what was going on. It might have been some birthday for them or whatever. But what ended up happening with me is they called me up. The one from the shop calls me up late. You know what I'm saying? Now the one when I first met up with her and her friend outside of the shop, they wanted some CDs or they want some music, or they want something. So, and I remember, I never forget, it was cold. So one of them had a truck or something like that. And so I jump in with their truck. You know, I hop out my car. It looked like a deal almost, you know what I'm saying? But I hop in. That's what we used to do. I hop in. I got my little backpack or CDs. I don't know what I was carrying. And I'm talking about they breaking bread. They breaking bread. So they get rapping everything. So she wasn't really too much. Her friend wasn't really too much. When I seen her friend, I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? At that time, my thing was dark skin chicks. That's what I like. But I seen a little red bone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she had a hat on, so I could tell she was kind of shy, whatever case may be. And I'm talking to her, and we talking about the move, but I kind of tell she's looking at me and stuff like that. But her friend, I could tell her friend's really trying to get up on me. But she ain't keeping her other friend. So she ain't keeping her other friend from trying to talk. So I compliment her. I'm like, you know, I like how you look or whatever. She's like, oh, you know, I'm not really dressed or whatever. She's pulling out her hoodie and stuff like that. And I said, let me see your hair. She takes it down, and I'm like, oh, butters. You know, niggas like butters. So real hair, a wig. She didn't have the Joy Reid. so you know, I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I was aggressive. I said, I like you, you know? And so she said, real, for real, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And so her friend, I could look at her friend got to kind of, you know, she kind of lightweight salty, but she don't want to hate in public. Her friend hit me up, not the light skinned one, the other one. And they like, hey, yeah, we over here kicking it. I didn't have nothing going on at the time. I don't know what was going on. I really don't know what I was doing, because like I say, my life was getting up like 5, 6 in the morning, going to the shop, making mixtapes, working on the computers, and I would do that till maybe sometimes 8, 9 o'clock. So I really treated it like a real job. Like I took it so serious, and that was like, it was like the shop was like my baby. Like I took it real serious. And so I was in there a lot more than everybody else. And then I didn't have no kids, and my homies had kids. So, you know, I can just kind of come and go and whatever the case may be. And I like getting in there and getting things together and whatnot. So, you know, that's when I meet people, you know, that was my job. That's what I say. This is my occupation, you know, and it was. So around that time, so they called me up. Hey, you should come kick it with us or whatever. We drinking and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, where y'all stay? They like, Eagan. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, geez, like way out in Eagan, like. And so remember, I stayed, you know, put my face so I can see my bright face, I guess. So I stayed right over here. You know what I'm saying? This was the building I stayed in right here. This is my building. So what I do, let me see if I can get to it again. Alright, hold on. Man, I'm going where the hell I live. Also, is that too far? Here we go. Okay, so I would 2740 Minnehaha, and I end up going all the way. I can't remember if I used to take 77. I probably did. I probably took. So what I would do, let me tell y'all something. Yeah, I took 55. I used to love 55. So look, I take 55, and I take that around here to 62 and 5 or whatnot. And it was somewhere, I don't know where it was, but it was somewhere. It wasn't as far as the Minnesota Zoo, but it was somewhere around this area. 13 or something, but it was a beautiful scenic route. And so I go over there. They want to play cards, they drinking and stuff like that, but I could tell they both kind of giving me equal attention. It felt like they was both about to attack me. You know what I'm saying? Like they were both giving me equal attention. But you know, I'm just kind of kicking and stuff like that. So we drink it more. It get to the point where I drink too much. I can't drive. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm stuck. They lived in an area where they right by each other. So I think that night, I don't remember, but I think I must told them it was my birthday or something like that. And I can't remember. I don't know if I drove. I don't think I drove. Maybe I did. But I'm a little lit, and I probably shouldn't have been driving, to be quite honest. But they like, do you want to go to Chili's or it's somewhere? Let me see if I can find this place. Let me see if it's Fridays, Eagan. Let me see. Then I'll kind of know where it's at. Or is it Chili's? They brought me somewhere. Let me see. Then I'll know where we went. And you know, I could talk about these things now, and I ain't ashamed. But I think we went to Chili's. It was a whole bunch of little places that had food. So, but it was real ducked off. Where they stayed at, it was some townhomes or something that was real ducked off. So, like I say, we kicking it. I'm drinking too much. I'm super late. And once I told them it's my birthday, then they want to get turned. So what ended up happening, I'll skip to more, if I want to say professional, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, me and light skin chick, we start kicking. I get back to the shop. The friend that didn't have no issue with us kicking it, she starts causing problems. She starts coming up to the shop acting a fool. She calling me like, I don't know, like the one that I met first, she starts calling me like personally, like, cause she used to come by the store, stuff like that. And then one day she pops up in my crib. And she wants to she want to shop with me. And so I shop with her, you know what I'm saying? But then she starts showing up at the crib, showing up at the house. Or not at the house, but she starts showing up at my job. And she starts calling me, knowing that I'm talking to her homegirl. So they get into it. They get into it bad. Light-skinned girl calls me up. You trying to talk them up? It's just all type of little hood rat drama shit. And I'm just like, I don't even know y'all too well. Like I just met you and well, why is she calling you and all that? Like, she had my number before you. Like, this getting into some real nigga shit. Like, y'all like, okay, what this got to do with IT? I'm telling y'all, these are my stories. Like, this all kind of stuff was going on. So, oh man, some of these stories I'm wondering, man, should I even tell y'all, man? Like, some of this stuff, but then again, I don't want to hide nothing, you know what I'm saying? But then some of this stuff is just, there's some stuff where you just like, what's this got to do with anything? It's adventures of DP. It's like, so, you know, I mean, they going at it. I'm getting a call back. I got my little flip phone. This is virtual remote. The first one, she's tripping. I'm like, okay, they must, I don't know what was going on, whatever, you know. So I get to the point, I don't want to talk to none of y'all. Second one call, light skin. Hey, you know, this, that. So we get into it like we was in a long-term relationship, like she just invested. And it's just going, you know. And so at some point in time, I get to the point where I'm like, she's like really, really liking me, like, oh, I want you to move in and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not leaving my crib, no. Like, I'm having my way, you know what I'm saying? It's two-car groundhogs. I'm not, no. I'm like 24, 23. No, I'm not, no. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know, and I had my space to a certain degree where it's kind of like, you know, and so, you know, but I think what it really was is, you know, like I say, I didn't feel like I had enough to offer. The thing is, and she had at times she had a lot of kids, and so she had like 3 or whatever. It would have been 2, maybe, I don't know. 1 would have been okay, but I had to be honest with her and honest with myself, and see, she had kind of been in some abusive stuff and all that, you know. So there was other little things going on, you know, and that was kind of advanced for me, you know. I'm not used to dealing with the Brady Bunch, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. Everybody knows. Everybody knows I'm not used to dealing with the Brady Bunch. So around that time, you know, and they still shopping, you know. So the light skin, when she kind of gets lightweight, overly possessive, whatever, I was in, you know. So, and they still shopping. Other ones still popping up at the shop, still shopping. They spending bread. And I think they purposely started kind of spending bread because they like me, which played in my favor, which played in the shop's favor. They spend bread. They ain't stingy at all. They breaking bread. And that's my whole thing about it, is what I'm trying to tell y'all is, man, when you a black man, you know, you decent looking nigga, you kind of handsome, you got a little mouthpiece with you, you got you a business, black women respect it. Black women respect that, especially if they spending money. The sisters in Minneapolis, I'm gonna give the sisters in Minneapolis, you know what I'm saying? Where my little, I'm gonna give black women in Minneapolis a damn hand of applause, you know what I'm saying? Because they fed us, man. It was the brothers too. But man, the sisters fed us, man. Even I ain't gonna lie, when we was hustling on the street, man. It was black American women that, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't immigrants. It was foundationals, and I'm not making no bones about nothing. I'm just saying it was the freedmen. It was freedmen, black American women that was putting money in our pockets on a regular basis, especially if they digging you. They really spending in, and they ain't hesitant. They ain't asking for, and they ain't really asking for no deals. I'm gonna be honest. It was the dudes that was always asking for handouts and, man, let me hold a CD and I'll pay you later. No, the sisters ain't never tell. I didn't have not one black woman say, man, you know what I'm saying? Let me hold something. I always had trouble with dudes, because dudes be counting your pockets. The sisters, a lot of times, they digging you. They want to spend money with you, you know. But you know, now the ballers, trap niggas, yeah, they spending bread, because that's a thing. That's like breaking bread. That's a hustler spirit. Like, I want to break bread. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like bragging rights. Like, yeah, man, I cake them dudes off some bread. You know what I'm saying? It's something you feel, they feel good to do. I'm a trapper. I'm a D-boy. I spend money. You see what I'm saying? So now them dudes, a lot of time, them dudes, they'll break bread, and they feel, you know, and you throw them something on a string. You see what I'm saying? So those dudes used to, you know, that you know, those dudes, they but when you get like the $5-10 niggas here and there, a lot of times they feel like, you know, it was their last, so they always want a free CD or whatever the case may be, and they'll mention it, like, man, you gotta give me some, or sometimes they'll be like, man, can I hold some? And I used to always let niggas hold some, and they don't never come back. you know, and then you see them again and they got an excuse, and I'm like, I don't even want you as a customer no more. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know, they were still spending with us. At one point, I think we had stopped talking, and I started talking to this chick from Gary. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really get in that story because I ain't make no money. These are all money stories. All these stories that I'm talking about were involved in me getting, you know, money, considerable amount of money to, you know, moving my business or doing whatever I was doing in my livelihood. So I'm telling from that standpoint, these ain't just late night escapades. Although some might have ended that way, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all involved in a physical financial transaction at all times. Every story that I talk about in regards to that, you know what I'm saying? When you hear that riding in the Chevy, you know, that's what was going on. And you know, eventually, you know, going over there in the winter and it got cold, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that was kind of like a winter thing. You know, like they say you're a winter boo or whatever. I think that was kind of like a winter thing because I knew that at some point in time, you know, it's not really a business relationship anymore. It's now like, you see what I'm saying? Now, there's an expectation, and that's the thing. Like with relationships in general, there's always going to be some type of expectation. So, what is the expectation, and are they realistic? Is the expectations of this relationship between this person realistic? You see what I'm saying? That's the overall thing. And people need to be realistic. Like, what do you really want? What do you want? And tell me everything. And here's what I want and everything. You see what I'm saying? So that wasn't really a conversation. You know, it was more like, you know, I probably was the best thing around at the time or whatnot. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, you know, because when you a young brother and you talking to a sister that has kids, it's either going to be one or two things. It's either going to be, you know, that's a package deal, right? Now, I don't care what nobody says. You're always going to deal with something. And then now there's this story about, you know, so you're coming in a dangerous situation almost, to the point where, like, okay, well, this person has, it don't matter, one or two baby daddies, whatnot. You don't know what's going on. She could be saying anything. And then you kind of coming in for, you're coming in, you're walking into a situation that is not your responsibility. You see what I'm saying? But the argument is, it is your responsibility because you trying to tap something or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, you kind of going in blind. You're kind of going in this situation blind. So I'm like, well, I'm not trying to move in. I get it. It sounds ideal to you because you see a young brother that ain't got no kids on his grind. So I can understand how she's like, man, let me come get that. I got another story called the tax story. I was going to file my taxes one time. And the accusing was almost predatory. It was kind of like, okay, tax lady sees the taxes and she's like, man. And I'm looking at it like, this ain't really nothing. But in her mind, she's probably looking at it like, okay, the average nigga on the east side probably coming in here with a little bit of nothing, or he just collected some taxes on some sloppy chick or whatever the case may be. So here you come in seeing a nigga that may make it $40, $50, $60,000. To her, that's like a gold mine. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm just like, man, this ain't no damn money. I want more. Like, this is nothing. That's not enough for me. But to her, she was just like, man, if you claim somebody's kid, you could. I mean, she's just licking her chops like, man, if I could just nail this nigga. I didn't think nothing of it. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna do a story about that. I thought it was kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? But when I looked up, when they said, well, the average income of a black man is this. I'm getting way off the subject, but anyway. So yeah, that was around the time late 09, going into the beginning of 2010, we shut the shop down in like March 2010 or February 2010 or whatever like that. So that was getting towards where we were getting to I believe, and I'll double check. If I could look, maybe I'll edit this later. I'm gonna see if I could find some of like the, I don't know where it is. I'm gonna see if I could find like some of the old titles. You know what I'm saying? For like them cars and stuff. Because that Delta 88, I'm trying to remember what I did with that Delta 88. I'm trying to remember what I did with that Delta 88, y'all. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what I did with it. Oh, okay, I remember. So what happened, I think I ended up selling it. It had a couple electrical issues. Yeah, I sold it. Because around that time, I had the Delta 88 and I had the 83 Brougham. At the same time, I had two olds at the same time. I was gonna drop a paint job on the 83 olds, and I ended up selling the Delta 88. This one right here. I ended up selling this joint. I eventually sold my Brougham, which I should have never sold that. But I had two olds at the same time. So this, I bought the Brougham. I bought that around the time when the shop closed. So when the shop closed in March 2010 or whenever that was, I'm gonna tell you a story about that. I got to do a story about that because these are journeys. These are journeys, man. I went out. One of my homies from Gary, which there's a story about that too. I was with him. We went out to LeSueur, Minnesota, and I bought that Brougham. And the GPS was acting weird or whatever. I don't even know how the hell we found it out, but I think we were using GPS. I can't even remember what kind of. I think we were using GPS or something. But we went out to like a farm, and I bought a Brougham for like $600. Great shape, man. So we'll do a story time for that too. So this was a long one. So the first 15 minutes, y'all just gotta abide by or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, this was a real long one. So riding in the Chevy once again. I'll do the next story time in a minute.